Good morning, Mitt. Will you be joining us? Steve, T-Rex. We're going to go out the door on this Friday. 1, 2, 3, and out the door. And, oops, Steve, I was on your line. Sorry about that. And Mitt, you can just come on out without a line because we know you're going to head for Mitt's patio. It's 8:15 on a Friday, October 3rd. It was pretty chilly. We were in the 40s this morning. Boston got down to 47 last night. First time in the 40s since May 24th. Looking beautiful right now. And the air has come around. It's now from the southwest, and that caused the temperature to start rising before the sun came up. Got a heavy dew before that happened. No frost for me, but probably some frost in parts of southern New England. Temperature roundup about 7 a.m. And it was a little warmer there in Burlington, Vermont, in the lower 40s, than it was near Buzzards Bay in the upper 30s. A lot of 30s around where the atmosphere decoupled. The blue numbers are the dew points. So you had the dew and the frost and spots. Kate in Dartmouth says, the heat came on. Yeah, she turned on the heat for a couple minutes this morning. Don't act like it's a guilty thing to do. It's cold inside. Turn the heat on. Why not? My house got down to 65 degrees, but this passive solar is going to be here, and we'll be up back in the lower 70s by later today, indoors and outdoors. The temperature both going up into the 70s. You know where one of the warmest spots in New Hampshire was? About 5,000 feet up Mount Washington, 50 degrees at sunrise, while the base was 37. It's called an inversion, cool air, longer nights. The cool air sinks, and when it's calm with a low dew point, you're going to get down into the 30s. And even some 20s. But we're about done with that. This high is now moving off to the south. Here's the surface map today. We have the 1033 high, which had caused cold air to come in, is now going to cause warm air to come in with its clockwise circulation and bringing a lot of heavy rain to Florida. And there's another storm in the northwest. That Florida stuff is going to stay south. That stuff in the northwest is going to stay north and west. And we are in cruise control in New England. I'd like to thank the Boston Red Sox for an exciting season. That was fun. And until last night, that is. A young man from Walpole, what's his name? Schitler? I'm afraid to say his name. Anyhow, he's a Boston Red Sox fan, and he mowed him down last night. Bragging rights forever. And that's it with the sports. And how about some news? Weather news. An 8th home on Buxton Beach, North Carolina, came down yesterday. These are the homes that came down back on Tuesday and Wednesday when Imelda went by and Umberto was way out to sea. And then yesterday, another home came down. Sam Walker reporting for Outer Banks News there. And I looked it up, and those homes had been abandoned for years, uninhabitable because of their precarious position. It's just weird that they had to wait for the waves to destroy them instead of taking them down piece by piece. So now there's a mess on the beach, and apparently the property owners, the homeowners, it's actually a national seashore beach, supposedly are going to bear the burden of the cost of the cleanup. But it just seems kind of ridiculous to let them fall into the water instead of trying to take them down, knowing that they were a hazard. Oh, look at T-Rex way over there by himself. All right, I'm coming over, T-Rex. That better, T-Rex? Mitt, Steve, all looking good in this October-colored yard. It's going to be feel of summertime coming back to New England. So we covered North Carolina. How about the waves at Nantucket? Henry M. catching a double overhead. Dubba in Florida pointed this out to me. I'm not really on Instagram that much, but I'm trying to get back on Instagram some more. And that's where this image was posted. And Kit Noble for the Nantucket Current also got a bunch of pictures of surf if you want to go to that website. So it wasn't multi-day, but there was a day or two of great swell on the south side of Nantucket with the offshore wind. And surf isn't looking too bad today either. Here's the webcam from Cinnamon Rainbows. About 7:30 this morning. Bunch of riders out there, someone catching a chest-high wave. I think it was 4 foot 10 seconds. 4 feet 10 seconds. That's a pretty decent ground swell. So fine Friday surf. Let's see, where are the hurricanes now? Let's check the National Hurricane Center. What? No hurricanes, just a little yellow X. A tropical disturbance off Florida, not expected to become a tropical storm, but bringing a lot of rain to Florida. Another 1 to 3 inches yesterday, more today. And 2 big clouds out over the Atlantic Ocean. If we go to the Ocean Prediction Center, apparently Umberto is coming into Ireland hot as a 981 low, developing hurricane force. So a former hurricane is becoming a hurricane force storm again. And what happened to Imelda? That was supposed to still be a hurricane today. Instead, it was sheared apart. Now it's a cold core instead of a warm core, so it doesn't get a name, but it also gets the moniker developing hurricane force in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So those storms have morphed from tropical to post-tropical, which means instead of warm core, they're now cold core. And if you look at the 7-day outlook, there's another wave coming across from Africa that has an orange designation. That means it's a 50-50 shot of it developing into a tropical cyclone. We'll see that actually in the end of the 10-day in the Euro where it is. And the yellow X towards Florida, just a lot of rain for Florida. That's not going to develop. Actually, there's a satellite image here. It shows a pretty good plume to the east of the Bahamas. That's going to go out on the front that's stalled. And then the disorganized thunderstorms just off the coast near Cape Canaveral down to Miami. And here in the Northeast, a few clouds mixed with our blue sky early this morning. And it's a pretty straightforward forecast. The front has sped up a little bit again for next week, and there's a second front late next week. And here's the meteogram showing the next raindrop in Nashua, New Hampshire is until about Tuesday. And until then, 70s today, and then low 80s Sunday, Monday. And Tuesday, maybe Tuesday. The front's coming in Tuesday, and both the GFS and the Euro agree with that, with more seasonable air coming in after that. But record warmth is likely between now and then, so let's show the Euro now. And here it is, the ECMWF. They call it the Euro guidance off Pivotal Weather. This is a free website. The H goes to our south. The air comes around from the southwest. And there's a weak backdoor cold front possible on Sunday with some high pressure to our north, maybe an onshore breeze, otherwise still in the 80s, cooler at the beaches. And you have these storms coming in off the northwest into southwestern Canada and the northwestern United States with some off and on elevation snow way out there. Meantime, in the middle of the nation, record warm. And then this front is stretched out, the storm track coming off the Pacific and then up to central Canada. And these lows go way to our north, and they're going to drop down a front there. Front coming down here Tuesday instead of Wednesday or Thursday as a couple of days ago. So this thing's speeding up, and the faster it comes in, the weaker it looks, and just a chance of showers now without the real big wind and thunderstorm threat that it looked like yesterday. But the wind is going to come in from the north again on Tuesday night. Wednesday, now we get the cold air advection from the north. Yesterday was from the south, so position of this front's really important. No snow for us, and it looks like less snow for Quebec up to our north than it showed yesterday, but the 540 did swing through here, and then the high pressure comes at us with cool off and then a warming trend into the beginning of next weekend, where another front may drop through here next Friday or so with a chance of a shower or two. But the storm track is clearly from the Pacific Ocean onto the west coast and then into central Canada with extreme for October heat possible. This now stops at day 10, which is October 12th, Sunday, October 12th. And I almost cannot believe my eyes. We have cool air here in the northeast with a high pressure coming over us, seasonable, but off to our west, on the west side of this high and to the south of another storm in Canada, you see those red numbers, 576 up to North Dakota and 582 decameter thickness over Nebraska. That is extreme heat for the month of October. We may have some all-time October heat in the middle of the nation there next weekend. And that would be coming in our direction after that next high goes off. Now, this is sort of a rough estimate on what can happen on day 10. Oh, yes, and we pan south a little bit on this, and just in the lower right corner there, just to the north of Hispaniola, that would be the, let's see, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J storm. I don't know the J storm, but it may develop. The Euro says the J storm is going to be there, but then it kind of curves out and misses all of North America. And that would, if it came in a week later after that high left New England, still hurricane season, maybe would be vulnerable. All right, so these videos are too long. That's it for the weather part. The and more is yesterday's weather today, and a lot of times I show you previews and everything, but instead I'll just tell you. We have a lot of time lapse of the big dig, excavators on a beach, time lapse of a setting sun, and a walk with T-Rex, and an explanation on the holes in the yard that we have over here. These holes, where do these holes come from? That, and left Mitt's patio. There's Steve on Mitt's patio. That's Cat and Mint looking really well. And T-Rex is convinced there's a baby bunny in there. And Mitt, what are you doing going on walkabout? All right. Yeah. And more from yesterday. And more. It's noontime. Actually, it's closer to 1. And look, backyard's mostly in the shadow. Yep. Seasons are changing, and we still have air coming in from the north. High pressure right over New England. Mostly a blue sky and beautiful. Looks like the tide is bottoming out, which is good if you're working down below high tide line and heavy equipment. Treasure hunting going on, that's always fun. Let's go check out the holes that I know the skunk made last night. Right there, yep, that's exactly where he was digging. So these are skunks digging up grubs in the yard. And then the skunk disappeared right over the cliff. Oh yeah, nice looking tomatoes, Chris. And Dawn, beautiful. All right, T-Rex, let's go check out these roses. Oh, what's that? Very pretty, nice peppers. I don't know what that is, but it's gorgeous. Look at these roses go. Mm-hmm. And what kind of fish is that up there, pointing to the north? Copperfish. Waves, reflective waves. T-Rex, this way. Rex, come over here. You come here. This way. Go up these stairs. Nope, this way. Take a right. Good boy. Yep, up those stairs. Huh? See no right and left? How's this dance floor? This is a nice one, huh? Another copper bird. Which one's that? Which way is that one? Been around the corner in a while. I think it's time to go look around the corner. Always want to look up though first. So this is right underneath those Atlas cedar trees. Pollen hasn't really had a chance to wash away. Let's go check out the state of the pollen of the Atlas. Hang on, Rex, stop. Stop. Still polleny. Yep, blowing away from the house though this time. Let's go check out those noises down below. Back up there. Good boy, stop, sit, stay. Rex, sit. Come on, people, sit. Sit. Good boy. And lots of progress there on the forms. Stairway's gonna go right here. So they're almost to the end with the forms and being right over there. As far as I know. Yeah, it's as far as we're gonna go right now. Oh, it's beautiful right now. Here in the sun. The wind is blocked. Watching the sun go right between the uprights as it continues its declination toward the south. We haven't done a big dig time lapse in a while. Not sure what's going on. Looks like the pile on the left there, those medium to small size boulders getting moved over to the right there. Don't know. Let's watch. funny. It's beeping. I think that the treads are going backwards, but the cabin's going forwards. Thanks, Luce. Team. Looking good. It's about 48-minute time lapse. At 4 o'clock, some cirrus clouds showing up as warm air advection begins, but not after a cold night. The burning bush is burning. Euonymus. I know it's invasive, but it's still pretty. Listening to Live at 5 with Kenny Young. That's where I get my news, WZLX. We lost Tom Petty 8 years ago, and it's Sting's birthday. Today, which is now yesterday, because this is yesterday's weather today. Hello, Winthrop. I don't really see any fish to speak of right now, but you know what I do see? More refraction of sunlight off of ice crystals and cirrus clouds. The Sundog. See if it can't get a little brighter before the sun hits the horizon here. I was just using the string trimmer around Steve and he didn't even move. Steve, look at this. The birds are back. As soon as the wind went light, I thought we'd see them again. Can you see them? It's like a flash mob. But how do they know there's a flash mob? Oh, they're gonna come our way. Birds chase me. I think they're gonna cut right between us and the sunset. That's my forecast for the next 5 minutes. The end of this video. Kenny Young's talking about the Red Sox game in New York. I don't know if I'm gonna make the end of that. I doubt it. We'll see. Talking about the youngest pitcher for the Red Sox since Babe Ruth, something like that. Is that what you said? Just in case the birds don't come over here, I want to show you what water looks like right here, right now. It's a reflection. We got the Sundog reflection right there, the refraction of the light right there. And it looks like the sun is going to get underneath the clouds, so this could be a prolonged sunset again. Condensation trails. Conditional instability aloft. Once a parcel begins to rise, it continues to rise. The rising caused by pressure gradient of the jet plane's wings and also subtle lift in the atmosphere as the warmer air overrides the colder air. That's the cirrus cloud. And here come the birds. Oh boy. It's always a long edit, even when you think it's not gonna be. Cormorants, is that what we have here? Certainly looks like it. Nope, they look smaller than cormorants. Cormorants come in different sizes. They go into the reflection of the Sundog. Steve, what do you think of all that? Fascinating, isn't it? Gotta widen out so you can see them all. Yes, we are spoiled by Mother Nature pretty much every day. Sun, Sundog, hundreds of migratory birds. I think they're migratory. They just migrated from east to west. Let's save a little bit more for when the sun gets to the horizon, for after the sun goes over the horizon. There go the birds back to where they came from a few minutes ago. We're in the Boston Harbor Islands. Hundreds of them. They just did a lap for us. And there they are, still kind of in the reflection of our Sundog right there. Our Sundog is going to disappear when the sun gets below that cloud, but then the cloud should light up. So here I go, torturing myself again. Another time lapse. Just makes for more editing, but I certainly love them. It was my childhood dream to make time lapse of the sky and the movement in the sky with the birds and the trees, and especially the clouds, the sun, the moon, the stars. So it's my dream come true, and I'm happy that it entertains you. And let's just let it rip now and see if we can't light up these clouds from beneath. Second thought, why don't we interrupt this time lapse with dual time lapse of the sky over Cape Cod, and then the sky over Weymouth all day long, and catch the sunset back in motion. Kind of lost count. We had the Big Dig, we had Weymouth, we had Cape Cod, and we now rejoin the fourth time lapse here, already in progress. 6:34. Give it about a 4 out of 10 on the shows that Mother Nature puts on for us at sunset, but never disappoints, even on a cloudy day. That's probably it for the light. Let's say hello to Andrew and Sophie. What are you catching? I'm gonna have to get a fish report from you. I'm gonna say we pan up and see if we can't see the waxing harvest moon for a moment. There it is. And how about a coon cat? Steve sitting over on the SUP. I can't help but thank my friends over at Nantasket wondering, why aren't you over here with your SUP? I know. Out a different door tomorrow. Going to a special place with a special person who is a special surf rider. So stay tuned for more. Unfortunately, Steve is not coming with us, but T-Rex is. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to stop and smell the black-eyed Susans.